Hello everybody, this is Craig from 9Volt Games, and today I'm going to do another Why I Love. But this one is a Why I Love as a series as a whole, not just a specific game. This is why I love Doom. The Doom. And I figure it's topical because, well, Doom comes out pretty quickly here. We're coming up on May 13th, fairly soon. I'm very excited for Doom, as you can imagine, because I'm making a Why I Love Doom, and that is because, in fact, I do love Doom. I have every Doom. I don't have every Doom every way it's come out, but throughout the course of history with Craig Hill and gaming, I have had every version of Doom that has been released. Jesus. I'm drinking this beer. It's very, I don't know, bubbly. It's kind of gross. I don't know. If you like fruity, not fruity, but like really earwaxy tasting, I don't know, unwiped asshole tasting IPAs, you might enjoy this one, but whatever. So anyways, Doom. Let's start it off. This one's a good one. I gave people a heads up. If you watched any of my previous streams a couple weeks back, I talked about how I was going to be doing Doom. This is the original official Doom strategy guide, by the by. This, yeah, all about it. When did this even come out? I don't even know. But I ended up picking this up at a store, obviously, and it belonged to Rick Raphael. But the original Doom. What happened was, I used to be a console gamer. You've heard me say several times, you know, Frogger was my first game that was actually mine, and that was on the 2600, and then I had a NES, which I didn't really have, because it wasn't mine, it was somebody else's. The first real system that I owned was the Sega Genesis. That was all mine. And I played Sega Genesis, and then it happened. We had an Apple II at my house. An Apple II type thing. And, I mean, it was mainly used for my mom typing documents for my dad's business. For my foster parents. So, like, when I was adopted into my family when I was 7, we didn't even have a computer then. So, a couple years later, we got a computer, and it was this big, blocky, fucking Apple II floppy disk fucking weird thing. It was in my parents' room. And then it happened. 1995. We got an IBM Aptiva with Windows 95. And then I was on the scene. I started playing PC games at that point. The only other time I played PC games at that point is if I went to somebody else's house and they had a PC. And even at that, it was really just a Commodore 64, like in my friend Brian's house. But my Uncle Mike growing up was the definitive PC gamer. This dude had an awesome rig. Whenever there was something new to be had, this dude had it in his rig. That was back then in the 90s. And I used to go over his house, or I used to go over somebody else's house when we play games, and I actually never got my hands on Doom until 1995. Nobody had Doom for me to play, and we ended up going to a place that was like Costco's or Sam's Club or some shit. I don't remember where it was, but I remember they had this turnstile rack in there, and it had a whole bunch of floppy disk for shareware, and then it had some legit games. And my mom, they were like $2 for a disc. And my mom was like, pick one out to me and my sister. Go ahead, pick one out. You try it out on the new computer. So I grabbed Doom, and I distinctly remember seeing it. I knew nothing about Doom at this point. I distinctly remember seeing the Pinky Demon was what was on the case, and I was like, I want this one. And then my sister grabbed Hugo's House of Horrors, which is also one of my favorite PC games of all time. But, yeah, that was like, I took that shit home, and then I didn't get to play it until the next day, and when I played it, it was only episode 1 and 2 of Doom 1, and that shit was fucking phenomenal. I played the first episode over and over and over again, and then I remember going to my Uncle Mike's house, and with the Aptiva, this is the key point, with the Aptiva, there was this multi-disc CD-ROM interactive movie game that I didn't appreciate at the time, but I ended up appreciating later on in life. It was called Silent Steel, which actually it was pretty awesome for as far as FMV games go. But my Uncle Mike, I was telling him about it, and I was like, you know, it's not really interesting to me. I find it kind of boring. And then he was like, let me borrow that. And then I was telling him, I was like, I got Doom, and I've been playing that over and over again. He's like, all right, well, let me borrow Silent Steel. And went to his house, and then he's like, if you're going to let me borrow this game, I'm going to let you borrow this. And he pulled a big fucking box, Doom 2. Oh my god, I didn't even play the other episodes in Doom 1 yet, but Doom 2 was, he had this shit, just boxed it up to me at this point. I think this was like a year later. This is after I'd been playing Doom for another year or whatever. He gave me that, he gave me a joystick to play, because at that point, this is all you really needed for Doom. And I played that shit. I borrowed that I played it for like a fucking year, and then this happened, right? The internet happened for everybody, where it was, it wasn't commonplace, but the internet was out there, but it wasn't commonplace for everybody to have the internet. But my family got the internet. My mom was starting some realty business, some shit. We needed the internet. And we got the internet. And I found ways to steal Doom. I didn't need my Uncle Mike's Doom anymore. But man, Doom set the standard. I started playing PC games seriously. Fuck a console. Anytime I could get on the PC, I was playing PC games. I was a PC gamer. That's why I will occasionally say it's like fuck PC, and then I'll tell people, be like, I'm saying that to just be an asshole, because back in the day I used to be strictly PC. I would play a console if I went to your house and played a console. If I couldn't get on the PC, or someone wanted to use the internet, it was a big ordeal back in those days. Makes me feel old as shit, but. Yeah, anytime I could be on the PC playing games, I was playing games. I was playing your Duke Nukems. I was playing Shogun, Total War. I was playing all these fucking games on PC back in the day. If there was an option for me to get a game on a console or get it on PC, I would always get it on PC. And I actually ignored my consoles for a while. And then my Uncle Mike called. No, this was all within the same year, because my Uncle Mike called us. I remember this. My Uncle Mike called and wanted me and my cousin Jay to come over to his house. And we went over and we ended up spending the night. And he had rented a PlayStation. I remember this. He rented a PlayStation. And none of us had a PlayStation. And when he rented the PlayStation, which was like $14 at the time, which was amazing. He rented the PlayStation, he rented Final Doom. And I got my hands on Final Doom. The first game I put hands on a PlayStation was Final Doom. And I remember that Christmas I asked for a PlayStation. My foster parents got me a PlayStation. And they didn't get me Final Doom. But they got me Duke Nukem. And I ended up getting regular Doom for my PS1. And then I got Final Doom down the road. And I wish I had fucking kept both of them, because I had the long box Doom. But pretty much anything that Doom came out on, I played it on. I didn't necessarily own it, but I mean, I've had it in the realm of things. Doom on the 32X. My cousin Jay had Doom on the 32X. Doom on the Super Nintendo. We had Doom on the Sega Saturn. And then obviously Doom on PC, and any variation of Doom on PC that I could get. And then, by the time I'm an adult, I had Doom on, as of now, I have Doom on my Xbox. You know what I mean? I have Brutal Doom all the way up until Brutal Doom now. I got Doom 3. I got Doom 64, which was the first and only game to give me motion sickness when I was younger. Any version of Doom that I can get my hands on, I can get. Especially now, if I can go back and get them, I would love to own every Doom. If you got a Doom that you would like to donate to me, most notably Final Doom, which, I have all these games, so I don't need them, but if I come across them, I would like them. Doom on the Game Boy Advance. It's an amazing thing to me. I used to be so fucking PC. And the thing that I can't stand now was the PC elitist attitude. And I had that shit. And it was 150,000% because of Doom. And the best part about it is, Doom was not the game that made me fall off. It was actually MDK2. MDK2, I got a Dreamcast. My Uncle Mike had always, whenever we stayed over his house, because he was the guy who wanted to stay over his house. He was the cool uncle, play games with and blah, blah, blah. He had MDK2 on the PC, and I used to play a shit out of it. I love MDK. It's one of my favorite PS1 games. And then I got a Sega Dreamcast, and I ended up, this is obviously down the road, I got a Sega Dreamcast, and I ended up getting MDK2 on the Sega Dreamcast, and it played just as smooth, and it didn't, look as good because he had a beefy fucking PC, and this was a Dreamcast. But it wasn't so far gone where, I was like playing Dreamcast, and I was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm gonna stay with consoles, because graphics do not make the game better to me. As long as it's playable, and the playability of it was on par with PC, just because it didn't look that fantastic, or there's some shit that moves a little faster, but I don't really notice it because I don't care. And I used to smoke a lot of pot back then, so I really didn't fucking care. Everything was slowed down anyways. But no, seriously, at that point I was like, man, my PC wasn't in my room at the time. I don't want to fucking sit out here, and I don't want to play games on PC. I don't want to build a tower. I don't want to do any of this shit. I'll just stay with the consoles that I have. I'll play the games on there. And then I dropped PC for a while. And then it happened. That fateful E3. You know what I'm talking about. with that fucking footage from Doom 3 that they had to check if it was really the game engine. Guess what I started doing that year? I started building a fucking PC. I was like, I'm gonna start saving now. I'm gonna make sure I can run Doom 3 at highest settings on launch day. That was my thing. I was like, back to PC gaming. I ended up re-going and buying Silent Hill 2, Resident Evil 2, all these games that I missed from this gap of MDK2 to that point, 2004, I believe it was. Yeah, 2004, early 2004. I was like, fuck this. I'm getting everything. And I stacked my fucking PC collection. And then I was done with high school. And then oh no, this was 2003. I was done with high school in 2003. And it bridged over to 2004. But I had that shit that happens. Anybody here ever move in with your high school girlfriend at the time? The girlfriend you had in high school? The one where you're so in love that you just break each other's shit because you actually deep down hate each other? I lost my PC in 2004 because of that. And I lost all my consoles too. It was actually horrible. I ended up moving back to Keene, New Hampshire and doing some drugs and squatting on somebody's couch. And then squatting in somebody's dorm room and then finally giving up and telling my family I need help. I mean, it was actually an extremely dark time. And it's all tied around, or I can all like trace it back to Doom 3. But then this happened. I got back on my feet. I got clean, in a sense. I didn't think that marijuana was a drug, so I still smoked pot at that time. But I didn't do any other drugs. And, you know, I got my own apartment, and I got all my shit back. I got an Xbox again. I got a PS2 again. I got a TV, and I had a job, and I was doing things right. And then this got announced to come out on Xbox. Me and my roommate, Sean, took a week off. He moved his TV into my bedroom, and we basically lived in my bedroom for a whole week doing co-op, System Link, going to Xbox Live, tearing shit up in team doubles. Oh my god. Doom 3 was life for me for like 2 years. And then this shit, I moved in with my other roommate, Adam, who was my former roommate's uncle. And then we used to blaze up all the time. And this was one of the games that scared the shit out of me the most when I was baked. Because there's a lot of talking over the radio, and I had surround sound at that point, and I'm listening, and I'm like, we gotta get down here, we gotta get this artifact, and we need to save all these people. And like, I got so amped up for it, man. And Doom, anytime anything Doom related comes out, I get so fucking excited. And as much as I love Wolfenstein, the real selling point of why I bought Wolfenstein in the first place is that right there. The Doom Beta access. And I already played the Doom Alpha, and let me tell you, it is fucking fast. It is phenomenally fast. It is ridiculous. And I'm so fucking excited for it. And that was just the multiplayer. I am way more excited for the single player because I feel like they do single player games great. And there's not a lot of FPS games that are single player first. And Wolfenstein, even though it's made for machine games, Wolfenstein gives me hope that they're gonna do good with Doom single player. It also helps that Bethesda owns them now. So here's one thing I wish to see from Doom in the future. Obviously, we're getting Doom, and I'm very excited for it. But in the future, Bethesda acquired the rights to Prey, and they were making a game that kind of sounded like an RPG set in the Prey universe, where you could jump from different planets as a bounty hunter. Now, Doom has already been worked into an RPG. It's Doom Mobile, the Doom Mobile RPG, and they have 2 of them. And people generally like them. I would love to see an RPG set in hell. Okay, listen. Fallout is Elder Scrolls with guns. And then it's expanded into this thing that's fucking giant that beat out a Call of Duty in sales. That's ridiculous. Like, that's insane. And this was a game that I didn't like at first because it wasn't like the old ones, which I have up here somewhere. It wasn't like these. Okay? I'm a little more open-minded now when it comes to something like this, where I can say, I wish Bethesda would do a Bethesda treatment of the Doom universe. And I don't think it's such a stupid idea, because of what they did with Fallout. So, I mean, you know, what's the future hold for Doom? I guess we're gonna find out May 13th. But as a matter of fact, I mean, as a fact, Doom made me at one time a PC gamer, at 2 times a PC gamer, and then Fate has just stripped the PC gaming from my hands. And it's mainly the attitude. I know I talk a lot of shit about PC in my videos, but the fact is I will play a game on anything that's available. I still have a PC upstairs, and I still play Brutal Doom. I play Brutal Doom on it, and that is fucking amazing. If you've never played Brutal Doom, look up how to play it. It's very simple. And play it. I play Brutal Doom through my laptop on my TV. With an Xbox controller, and the shit is fucking amazing. I love it. Seriously, if you've never played it, that's the best version of Doom you can play. Even John Romero gave it a nod on Twitter. That's how I actually initially found out about it, even though people told me about it. But Doom is an amazing thing, and what it did for me is it not only opened me up to PC, it actually opened me up to first-person gaming, because at that time I was playing games like Who Goes House of Horrors. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I was playing games like you know, Commander Keen, the original Duke Nukem, your side-scrolling games, Jazz Jackrabbit, and I was playing a lot of like puzzly party games. There's a game called Endor Fun that was fucking amazing. It actually led me into my love of puzzle games now. So pretty much as I shit on PC, I can trace back to PC with starting the roots of the games that I absolutely love. Who Goes House of Horrors wasn't scary, but when you break it down, it's a puzzle game that was kind of a horror game. It kind of laid out the framework of what a horror game is now today. Somebody's lost, you're trying to find them in this horror-themed environment. That's pretty much what every fucking horror game is. And then I love the single-player experience of Doom. Yes, I used to do LAN parties with Doom at my friend Bubba's house. You could go to his house and you could play games. But what it really came down to is my love of single-player FPSs and things like Wolfenstein, even though I played the original back when I played Doom. It was actually after Doom that I played Wolfenstein. It brought my love for single-player gaming, and nothing is going to take that away. And I definitely have Doom to thank for you know, my antisocialness with online. But as far as FPSs go, Doom set the standard for me, and it still does, because you can throw any fucking new Halo at me. You could throw Borderlands. I'm looking at first-person shooters right now. Borderlands, Far Cry, you know. I can look at all these first-person shooter games, and the fact of the matter is, when I'm bored and I want to kill an hour and I don't feel like going to start a new game or playing a new game that's released, you know, I always do. And if you watch me on Xbox Live, you can see this. It's consistent. It happens. I will go back, and 2 days in a row, I will sit there and I'll run through Doom again. Doom 1 or Doom 2. And I always do it on Xbox Live. And now that they brought them up to Xbox One, I started doing it again. It's ridiculous. Doom will always be there, and that's why I love it so much. It is a perfect game to me. It's in every stage that has come out, it has been like the pinnacle or the you know, the bar for what I expect from games of this genre, of the single player FPS game. You know, while the multiplayer aspect of it when I used to play online in Doom 3 is not the best multiplayer you're going to get. But as far as single player goes, it does always set the bar for me. And I'm never disappointed by Doom. And I don't think I'm going to be disappointed by Doom in the future. I'm a little on the, you know, the fence about how exciting this is going to be without Carmack being involved in Doom anymore and them scrapping it and restarting again. But I'm open-minded to it because it's Doom. It is, you know, the grandfather, not the godfather, but it's the grandfather of FPSs. And I'm excited for it. Who the fuck doesn't like Doom? Don't even comment on here if you don't like Doom, because I'm just going to fucking block you. Thank you guys for watching.